In today's video, I'm going to share with you one of the most requested videos I've seen in the comment section, and that's to compare my Peavey Red Stripe Bandit 112 back here, loaded with an Eminence Texas heat speaker, up against my Marshall DSL40CR Amplifier, loaded with an Eminence Texas heat speaker. So I've got the same speaker in both amplifiers because I absolutely love this speaker, but the amps have so much versatility. They're way more comparable than you think. The Peavey Bandit is a solid state amplifier, and the Marshall DSL is a tube amp. So you get a good sense of how they compare when you've got an AEA ribbon microphone right in front of either. What you're about to hear are two quick tracks that I've recorded using 3 guitar parts. So 2 clean parts on each amplifier, followed by their respective lead channel. And then we'll get back and we'll discuss it. So we'll start with the Peavey and then we'll go over to the Marshall. Here we go. Let's talk about my first impressions before we dive into both of these amplifiers a little bit more and dial in some rock and tones. So first up, I liked the clean on both amplifiers. They both sounded really good. I actually liked the sort of note separation a little bit more on the clean channel of the Peavey than I did on the Marshall, but the Marshall clean is great, right? So you're not really sacrificing much there. The Marshall definitely had a smoother drive tone. You can hear that sort of valve thing going on with that drive channel. It just put it slightly ahead of the Peavey, but is the Peavey still absolutely usable? I would say so, but let us know what you think in the comments. And while a lot of people know just how great the Peavey Bandit is, you still see the odd comments going, oh, the Peavey Bandit sucks, or the solid state amplifiers are crap, and all that kind of stuff. A lot of solid state amplifiers aren't great. This is one of the exceptions to the rule. There's a few really great solid state amplifiers out there, and this is one of them. It holds its own every bit as well as any other amplifier I've ever owned in the context of a live mix where it matters the most. It records great. You can get a nice clean tone at a lower volume than you can out of the Marshall. So it has a few positives there in terms of its overall usability. This amplifier totally rocks. And if you haven't played one and you haven't had it up loud, you don't know what you're missing. Now the Peavey also gives us two different clean channel voicings, so we're over to the modern one now, which drastically changes the sound from the vintage. I'll just play that last pass again. It's got a little hair on there. Let's try some bluesy tones now, starting on the Peavey Bandit, and this is on the Vintage Drive channel. Let's try some classic crunch tones, still on the classic crunch channel of the Marshall. While I really like the Marshall tone for this particular crunch channel, the notes seem a little bit more separated. The Peavey is a lot more lively. It's right on the edge of feedback, which I really like. So yeah, if you like to get some feedback, this amp really makes it easy. Over to the high gain channel on the Peavey, and then we're going to go over to the ultra gain channel on the Marshall. This is bridge pickup. When it comes to the crunch tones, I think the Marshall gets the win here. Just when it comes to the note separation on the chords, it really does sound great, especially for that sort of rhythm guitar stuff. But when it came to the lead tones, it can kind of go either way. You can be the judge which one you like best and why. Being that both amps have exactly the same speaker, I would consider this a very fair test. Both of these amplifiers are more than capable when it comes to live playing. I've used both of them for years. Done plenty of shows with both. I first reviewed the Peavey Bandit about 15 or so years ago, and I'm still using them today. The Marshall now I've had for quite some time. It's been a fantastic amp, maybe the most versatile tube amp I've ever owned. Anyway, let us know what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments section. Thanks again for watching. Leave a thumbs up on your way out. If you want to watch another video like this, I'll link it up in the cards. Catch you soon.